Mobilization in Russia may be announced as early as the 20th of September, immediately after the voting results are summed up.
The logic of the second wave of mobilization is that the time has come for the men called up by decree of September 21, 2022 to be rotated in order to increase efficiency in the troops and prevent the excessive increase in discontent in the families of those mobilized in the first wave. From a publication in the Telegram channel, we can explain.
Russian activists also report about preparations for the second wave of mobilization. Specialists from the Republican Military Registration and Enlistment Office are coming to Yakutia. People are increasingly being summoned to clarify information, says the Free Yakutia Foundation. In Buryatia, the Irkutsk region and the Jewish Autonomous Region, they are also completing preparations for a new large-scale mobilization. All year, the Kremlin has been trying to close all the loopholes for those who do not want to die for the regime. The Federation has tightened fines and terms for a number of articles of the Criminal Code and adopted a law on a unified register of persons liable for military service and on electronic summonses.
Due to the fact that Russian citizens did not voluntarily join the army, the first wave of mobilization was announced in September, and so apparently, now due to the fact that this wave of recruitment is falling, a second wave of mobilization will be announced. Apparently, in the fall conscription for military service will be postponed by a month and will begin not in October, but in November.
The decision to conduct a second wave of mobilization will indicate the failure of the campaign to recruit contract soldiers, experts say.
We have been waiting for the second wave of mobilization since February of this year, but it is not there yet, and it is clear that the Russian authorities have chosen the course of recruiting for a contract. Since January, active recruitment has been launched, and the authorities say that within the framework, and they say everything is fine, the next wave of mobilization is not needed. But apparently this is a lie, because there is a lot of data that recruitment is falling in the regions. Only up to 10% are recruited.
And the Russians do not want to enter into contracts with the army because they understand that this is a direct path to slavery. Breaking the contract is virtually impossible. Due to the shortage of cannon fodder for the Russian army, the Kremlin decided to send foreigners to the war against Ukraine, both abroad and in the Federation itself. The review of the British Ministry of Defense says that since May of this year, Russia has been calling for migrants from Central Asia to join the army, promising them wages of up to $4,160.
They offer to sign these contracts for money. This is the moment of actually legalizing mercenaries, only directly with the Russian armed forces, in the hope that there will be a number of active, passionate people who don't mind making money. Through classic mercenaries, they are trying to take less trained ones who can be used at the front.
In the fall, the Russian State Duma may adopt a bill introducing criminal liability for evading conscription for military service during mobilization. This was stated by the head of the State Duma Defense Committee, Andrei Kartapolov, and this means that for unauthorized leaving of a unit by mobilized, or for, I quote, attempting to fail to appear at the Military Registration and Enlistment Office, can be imprisoned for 5 years. So far, Russian legislation provides criminal liability only for evading military service. Reported by Serhiy Kulyas, Yulia Hranovska, UATV News.